Ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh, that ending. I was not expecting that. How's it going, everyone? This is Slam with another video or film or whatever, reaction, review, and all that type of stuff. This one, we're going into Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. The new Netflix show, in consolidation with Edgar Wright, the director of the film, which is I'll get into later. Also starring basically every single person from the original film. That is correct. Even Chris Evans makes an appearance in this film somehow. I don't even know how that was swung. Also Brie Larson, which you would think that she wasn't really going to be involved with this, but she is. So is Chris Evans, of course, Michael Cera, Kieran Culkin. The entire cast and crew from the original is back as voices in this anime-inspired show. Now, is this anime? Well, we'll get into that too. So before starting this, I just want to say that I went into this show absolutely, completely blind. All I knew was that it was animated. It took a lot of source material from the original comic series and all that, and the entire cast was coming back, even Chris Evans and Brie Larson, yada, yada, yada. You know, I've already sung this song. Now, to be fair, I have also never read the graphic novels. I intend to. I'm getting into Sandman, actually, so be prepared for some, little reviews on those types of things. But as of now, I haven't necessarily been diving into the Scott Pilgrim stuff. But I do know that I guess the film was kind of a departure from the original graphic novels and all that type of stuff. The graphic novels, I guess, dived a little bit further into, Scott Pilgrim's life and all that type of stuff. But I gotta say, if you haven't seen this film, you have to. It is absolute gold, okay? It is like the best comic book movie. It is the best video game movie. It is the best anime live action movie combined into one amazing film. And yeah, it is absolutely spectacular. And also on top of it, a lot of stars actually showed up that before their big, huge, gigantic blow-ups like Audrey Plaza. And I'm not going to sing the cast and crew again. We've all heard and seen that. But anyway, the film is truly spectacular. So I was going into this pretty high in standards and all that type of stuff, but also realizing that, it's a show from a well-beloved comic and a well-beloved film, and but I don't think both these things are going to really translate into the show quite a lot. I mean, here's the thing, right? It's a Netflix show. I mean, sometimes they make gold like The Crown or Stranger Things, but other times they make complete and utter garbage like that stupid Blockbuster show or that stupid Fuller House show, which is just an embarrassment. But anyway, I didn't know where this show was going to go, but I wasn't expecting it to be, all that well told. I thought it was going to be basically just a ripoff of the comic book. So I didn't necessarily have to read the comic book necessarily. It was just going to be more accurate interpretation on the comic series. But oh no, it's not. In fact, it starts out that way. You think it's going to be beat for beat the same thing as the film or the show, or no, you're going to be the same thing as the film or the comic series or anything like that. And once again, I didn't read the comics series quite yet, so I just figured any expansion or anything, it will probably be just something from the graphic novel or something, or maybe something original. But oh no, this show is absolutely nothing like the movie or the graphic novel series. Well, actually, there are a few similarities, but it takes an entire 180 for the better, in my opinion. I did not expect this to happen, where Scott Pilgrim actually dies. Also, spoiler for the first episode of this series, but yeah, Scott Pilgrim dies. I did not ever expect that to happen because the whole show is called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off from the graphic novel series Scott Pilgrim. So I figured, oh, okay, well, this is going to be just a regular old show. This is going to be beat for beat, probably the same thing as the film, or maybe beat for beat the same thing as the graphic novel series. No. It takes a complete 180 for the better. Now it's its own entire thing, which I gotta say, I'm all in. I was in before because I'll mention other things before I mention the big huge twist again, but I'm all in now. Let me just say that I am all in now. So the first thing I gotta say with this whole show, or at least this first episode, in my opinion, is at least the art direction, which is basically just ripped off the pages of the source material, the graphic novel, which I gotta say it's just absolutely spectacular. These character designs, the animation, it's beautiful. It's like an anime video game come to life. I actually need to be more specific. It's like an anime 2D like arcade platformer game come to life. It's amazing. I can't believe that nothing has... I can't believe I haven't seen anything like this before. It is absolutely just breathtaking. Maybe I'm just uncultured. Maybe there's something else out there that's similar in style, but I have never seen anything like this. It is so beautiful. The colors themselves are just eye-popping. And even though it's like, you know, what we saw in the original film with like Toronto and all that, where it's very dingy, very snowy. And I gotta say, I live in Detroit, right? And Detroit's very close to Toronto. And I went up to Canada many, many times. And I gotta say, they got that right. They got the crumminess of when it's winter. They got that part of Canada right. But I gotta say, Canadians, okay, Canada, it's a great country. Not saying that, but I gotta say, when it's snowing, it's very dreary, honestly. And they captured that perfectly in the film. And in this show, it looks crummy, but it also looks very vibrant and lively. It's very bizarre. You wouldn't... Maybe it's just my connection to the film for me seeing it and all that, but I don't know. It just looks dreary and bright and cheerful at the same time. I can't put into words exactly what that is, but it's very bizarre, but all in the best ways, of course. The music, at least in my opinion, it's a little bit better, I dare say, from the film to the series. I don't know. It's like I can actually hear it this time, like the lyrics. I can actually hear what they're singing, the lyrics, instead of just like having a overall expenditure of the I don't even know, the microphone, I guess, or something like that, like the reverb. And while I do enjoy the music from the original film and all that, I don't know. It's just this one seems like the songs in this episode, at least, it really works. I don't know. It's just a little bit better. I like it a little bit better. I can listen to this songs and this album if they have it, which they probably will. I can listen to this a lot more than I would the film. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I would listen to the film as well, but I'll probably listen to this album from the show a little bit more. It's very interesting, to say the least. Once again, this whole show is very, very interesting. Now, it's also interesting, and one of the reasons why I just was attached to this show to begin with was because that Edgar Wright is kind of attached to this show and, you know, executive producing, which doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, but the entire cast from the original film is back in this show, which is surprising. I don't know how big of a role Brie Larson or Chris Evans will be in this particular show, because Brie Larson's like an Academy Award winner, and she's in the MCU getting huge paychecks, and she's now in the Fast and Furious saga, which she's also getting huge, checks from that. So who knows what her checks, how much money she was going to get from this show to be in the show, and how much she's actually going to be in it. I don't know. It could be a lot. It could be less. I don't know. More than likely it'd be less. But yeah, also Chris Evans is also returning, which I was dumb shocked that Chris Evans would be in this too, because he's, Captain America. You wouldn't expect Captain America to be in this to begin with either, because he also has a very high, he also has a very high money ordinance he has to go through and all that. So yeah. But apparently they're more involved than I previously thought, because Brie Larson makes her first appearance in episode 2. I didn't even know she was in anything until, like, I don't know, maybe episode 4 or something. But yeah, they're completely reduxing the entire storyline from the original film and the original comic series even, which I gotta say, thank you. I mean, it's almost completely original now. They are doing their own thing, which I gotta say, very interesting. Gives me hope for the overall series. Now, here's the thing. I was going into this show just off the top of my head, just going into it, just like, okay, I got some time to kill. I don't really need to just pay attention to this a whole lot. I'm just gonna, I don't know, watch this, just chill out, whatever, and see where the show kind of deals. And then I was watching, it was like, oh yeah, the animation is really sweet. It's like very video gamey, very anime-esque and all that. And yeah, okay, something I expected. But then all of a sudden, Ramona's first boyfriend that she dated and all that in middle school, which they also still have that same little thing in there. They saw the same explanation and storyline from the first boyfriend and all that. He just wrecks Scott Pilgrim in one punch, and Scott loses, and Ramona wins, the first boyfriend wins. And I was just like, what? Wait, what? What happened? Oh my gosh, what? This? Okay, I'm in now. I'm invested now. Because here's the thing, and this is something we're kind of going to be diving into a little bit. Not a whole lot, because they don't really give a whole lot of stuff to say about this particularly in the show right now. And that is Scott Pilgrim, who's like in his early 20s, granted early 20s, is dating a high schooler, Knives. That was pretty controversial in 2010 when the film came out, and even controversial when the graphic novel came out. So they kind of made a little bit of a nudge, nudge, wink, wink, or whatever in this show where they were actually dating, which I guess they changed it a little bit, where Scott and Knives aren't actually dating. Knives thinks they're dating. I don't know. I honestly can't even tell anymore, because who knows? This might be a delusion in, I don't know, Knives' head now. It could be. I don't know. But yeah, anything's up in the air now, because Scott is actually dead. I watched the first I had to watch the first 5 minutes of the second episode just to see, oh wait, did they actually kill Scott? And they're at his funeral, and then Brie Larson shows up, and I'm like, oh wait, Scott's actually dead. What the heck? Whoa, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm in. Let's do it. But yeah, I just gotta pop in to like talk about this because it was just, I was dumb shocked. And I don't even know why. No one's talking about this really. You know, I haven't seen anybody really talk about this online. I'm not really on Twitter anymore. I'm on YouTube, but I haven't been seeing a whole lot of the cartoon people that I follow talk about this. And I'm just like, why isn't anyone watching this show? Wow. Okay. But anyway, though, what do you guys think? Is Scott Pilgrim Takes Off accurate to the source material? Of course it's not. But what do you guys think? Is it a great adaptation or is it not? What do you guys have to say on it? And comment, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. More vids come your way. And hey, take care, guys.